let's talk about week 5.
Should we talk about some 49er football game week 5? Huh? That was kind of a painful game that we should have won and didn't. I don't know what your feelings are on that, but this was a very winnable game, and it really came down to the last couple of minutes, and we came apart. What do you think, Gary?
Well, I think defense played well enough for us to win.
Yep.
And they've been getting a lot of flack over that game, and I don't see it. Yeah, they gave up some points, but they gave up a lot fewer points than teams that have played the Cardinals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tennis. The Cards scored 38, 34, and 31 and 37 points in the games previous to us.
Right.
And 37 in the game after.
Right.
So defense definitely did their job. And offense did great, except they couldn't get to the promised land.
Well, how many? I think it was 4 fourth down conversions that they tried and missed them all, right? And especially that one inside the 5-yard line where Trey tried to carry it around, and they sniffed that one out. They were all over it. I think this Cardinal defense is really, really good, and I think they're the best team in our division right now playing. I mean, the Rams could get there, but I'll take Kyle Murray over Matthew Stafford any day.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. So this Cardinal team is really good. It's too bad that we missed a couple of big defensive plays at the end of the game that might have got us the ball back, but we didn't. Gary, let me ask you a question. So these fourth downs, particularly the last one, we're 4th and 4, 4th and 5. This was in the fourth quarter, and we were just barely across the 50-yard line when we went for a 4th down. Instead of punting and trying to bury those guys close to deep into our territory, and I just thought it was really a coaching error, and I strongly believe we should have punted there. We didn't. We didn't make the first down, and 5 plays later, the Cardinals capped it off with a touchdown. That brought the score to 17-10, I think, where we finished the game. But that basically iced the game. It was late in the fourth quarter, and that one was kind of the end.
Which 4th down are you talking about? The one that Juice, the back-to-back Juice under center?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That was a bad call.
Yeah, it was a really bad call. But again, field position, it was just so odd to try 4th down there when we didn't really need it to win. We had plenty of time to punt and then let the defense try to get the ball back. I just don't understand why we wouldn't punt the ball and bury these guys.
Well, I don't mind the going for it there. I think that wasn't as bad as the play that was called. And there are things that could have been done. You could have hiked it between Juice's legs and back to Trey and let him run from back there, which I think would have really changed things up. Plus, another thing that I've seen done that way is like have Juice set up quickly behind the guard and have the center snap the ball.
Yeah.
Like he's getting the ball from the guard.
Right.
And because they were really keyed in on that play. if that ball would have got back to Trey, he would have had no trouble making that first down around the edge.
Yeah, I agree. That would have been a really odd play, but I don't think it's beyond Shanahan. I mean, the guy's supposed to be a special wizard out there, so I could see him pulling a play like that out of his hat.
Well, if they'd have got that first down, he would have been a wizard, wouldn't he?
He sure would have, wouldn't he? If we would have got 4 of those, he would
He's a
have been
gambler,
real wizard.
and he just gambled with the wrong play.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
if Trey hadn't have tried to take on the tacklers, our last offensive play at the end zone, and would have headed and dove for the pylon, he'd have made it, I believe. But Monday morning quarterback is really good for 2 reasons. One, you've already seen what didn't work, and the others, you never have to prove it.
That's right. That's what we are, right? Monday morning.
Yeah, well, that's the easy job.
Yeah. I just think they had that the Cards defense had that thing sniffed out all the way. I don't think there was any shot for him to get into the end zone. I think rolling out and then throwing into the end zone, a little Russell Wilson type of play, that might have worked. Send 4 wideouts and then have those guys run a pit play in the end zone and get somebody open. I mean, how many times have we seen Seattle do that? So I don't know.
That's where we missed both Kittle and KB.
Yeah, we really missed Kittle there. I have the injury list for this upcoming game, and it's not good.
Well, we can talk about that when we do the Colts breakdown.
Okay. I guess the other thing that I took away from this game was that in the previous 2 games, DeAndre Hopkins didn't do a lot. And of course, that's because they weren't setting plays up for him, and they won those games. So you can't say anything about the coaching. You can't say anything about decision making. But in this game, DeAndre Hopkins was a killer, and those back shoulder passes that Kyle Murray was throwing to him near the sidelines were just unstoppable. I mean, he did it over and over and over again. They did it on 4th and long, right? So it was just that the combination of those 2 guys really.
But they still only scored 17 points.
They did. So I mean, it's hard to say the secondary didn't do a good job. It's hard to say that anybody had a bad game. It was a low-scoring game, and a couple of bounces here and there, a couple of different decisions. Again, I think this was a very winnable game, and I think that's good news for the 49ers that they could have won this game, because even though they lost, they got to look at the positives and take those away and bring them to the next game. So that's kind of my summary on this game. I'm glad it's behind us. I'm not looking forward to playing these guys again. We'll be down there, and I imagine their fans are pretty excited right now. I think right now, they might have one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC, and he's really come along. So that's kind of my wrap on the last game. Well, you got any?
Let me ask you a theoretical question here.
Okay.
Would we have won that game with Jimmy G at quarterback, healthy?
Boy, that's a tough question. I mean, Trey, if you look at Trey's stats, they're not much different than the stat line from Jimmy. He really, if you just look at the statistics, and I don't have them here in front of me, but I know I looked at them after the game and saw Jimmy's, and they weren't that much different. So would we have won with him? Well, maybe. I mean, maybe he would have been able to check down and do some things that a veteran would do, and maybe that would have got us over the edge. But Jimmy doesn't call the plays. Trey doesn't call the plays. And
Yeah, but they have to be able to actually work the plays.
Yeah. So I guess my opinion on that one is I mean, it's easy to guess either way, but honestly, just looking at the numbers, I don't think Jimmy would have had much more success than Trey did. That Trey's not ready.
Yeah.
And that showed it. Well, so I'll throw that one back at you.
Well, I think Jimmy would have won it.
Do you?
I think Jimmy was 7 points, would have been at least tied it up, and we'd had to go into overtime.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with Trey, other than he's a rookie.
Right.
He hasn't had much experience, and he needs more time with the clipboard, watching the checkdowns and the right way to do it. And he also needs, during the offseason, I've heard a lot of guys talk about how he needs to work with his footwork and his windup.
Oh.
He's doing a lot of things that are causing the errant throws that he throws.
Okay.
And he may just be thinking about it too much.
Well, last week was, I mean, that Cardinal game was a pretty tough game to throw a rookie in who's never played a game before. So that's his first start. And he's going against what is right now, I believe they're the only undefeated team.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, in the NFC, right? So I mean, this is potentially the best team in the NFC. So I think Trey did pretty well, considering this is the JJ Watt era in Arizona now. And
JJ isn't what he used to be.
No, he's not, but he blew up that line like crazy. And he was getting double teamed a lot. And that opened it up for the rest of the line. And they got to Trey a couple of times. So anyway,
I think it shows that we still have a really good team, but we've got a bunch of really good individuals. I think that the thing that they really need to do is to gel as a team and trust your teammates to do their job. Right. If you'll watch the videos close, you'll see the guys are trying to look to help out the other guy way too much. Just do your job. And once your job's done, then you can go help the other guy.
So isn't that a coaching issue?
Well, the coaches can coach them, but they can't make them not try to overproduce.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, these guys all have their own minds. They can make their own decisions once they're on the field. But I mean, I think those are the kinds of things that you work on during the week, so you don't have to figure them out. And like you say, then you just do what the play's supposed to be, and you end up being right. And if the coaches see that you're going out there and trying to do too much, like you said, or running bad routes or doing something else, it's up to the coaches, during the following week to make sure that those types of mistakes are cleaned up. But I think you would place that one more on the individual players, right?
Yeah, I just think that they need to relax and play football.
Yeah.
Do
you think there's too much pressure on this team?
possibly.
They were really picked to, really go somewhere, right, this year.
Well, maybe our record will help us relax on that and just play football.
Maybe. And we do need to just play football. Just go out there and do it. It'll be interesting to see how they come off the bye. They need to come out and be ready to roll. I don't mean to roll into next week already. Have we capped the Cardinals game well enough already?
Pretty much, but I need a jersey change before we move to the.
Oh, okay.
I can't wear an away jersey to a home game.
Why? The Niners do it. So, right? They wore whites at home this year.
They have, yeah.
Yeah.
But it didn't work
No.
in the past. It's not worked all the time.
Yeah. So, I think the first 5 games were really tough. Maybe the toughest in the division. We had a really, really rough road on the first 5 games. And we came away 2-3. So that's not so bad, I guess. But it gets a little easier, or it should be a little easier over the next couple of games. So just, for me to summarize the first 5 games, I think I'm happy enough, but I think there's too much pressure on this team. I think they, like you say, just need to play football and quit listening to the media, quit listening to everybody else, and just go play. So that's what I think. That's the end of my thoughts on the Cardinals.
Okay, well, we get to try it again.
Okay.
We get to try playing the Cardinals again.
Yeah, we do. We get to go down there this time, right?
We were down there.
Did we play it? Okay. Well, we get to play at Levi.
We get to bring them into our place.
Yeah, maybe we'll.
I thought there was an awful lot of Arizona fans in the stands.
Yeah,
they don't travel like the Niner Empire does.
No, they certainly don't. Very few teams do. New England does, Green Bay does, but Niners travel well.